Good Wednesday evening, everybody. Welcome to another broadcast of the American Ricci Mahjong League. Nathaniel here, joined by Rachel. How's it going, Rachel?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing quite well, and really looking forward to this B2 matchup. We've got a couple names here that are quite well known, at least to me. Our first dealer is going to be Garth, JPML Pro, playing from Japan, or I knew he was going to be visiting the US at some point. I don't know if he's still in Japan. I'm going to assume so. With the Fred Flynn account to the right, Fake GG is Travis S. Across the table, another M will be Michael V. And on the left, Penguin Knight is going to be Takahiro. And it looks like so far in this B2 division, this is these are four players on the lower half of the standings, although Takahiro currently the highest among the group at plus 0.8, fighting for the Saki Award this season currently. It's going to be a big trek to get up towards the promotion spot. Maybe not, maybe unlikely to be done in 8 games, but they'll be playing 2 tonight, 2 a little bit later this weekend, and then we have session 6. In terms of the other players, Michael currently just outside of that demotion zone, has a decent bit of gap, about 120 points, so some room to play with. And for Travis and Garth, it's going to be a big battle to escape the relegation zone. We'll see if they can pick up any points tonight. We're opening up in East 1 with Garth in the dealer seat. And what do you make of this high pie? Promising? Yeah.
There's two completed shapes and then a Conchong and a Ryoncon. Uh, no pair, but that's easily to draw.
Yeah, especially when you have a couple awkward Kanchan shapes. You'd love for one of those to turn into your pair and to fill the other one. And the 6-0, a great pickup as well. Improves the door accepting shape into a diamond. So it looks like a great start for Garth. On the right, Travis, maybe maybe there's dreams of some sort of 6-7-8 Sanchoku, but it looks like a pretty standard hand. Maybe could turn to Tanya as well. Across the way, Michael,
リーチ
prepare for Ricci, but it looks like Penguin's going to get there first. Takahiro, Ricci, Nomi waiting on the 3-mod. And of course, early Ricci is always exciting because it puts a lot of pressure on the other players, but the weight isn't the best quality here, especially with one of the 3-mod discarded already. Do you prefer to take this type of Ricci early and apply the pressure, or do you like maybe cutting the 1-mod, 2-mod, and hoping to draw into a better shape?
I don't. Honestly, this hand is really close to a couple other hands. I think I would have Dama and hope to get shift down to a Sanshoku with 1, 2, 3 and Chanta.
Hmm. That would be the huge value path. And of course, if you Dama, you can also draw the Forso itself, the Dora, and maybe that is enough incentive to take the Ricci, just having the extra 1 Han of value.
Mm-hmm.
As is, will be a waiting game. We'll see how the rest of the table responds. It looks like one of the 3-mon has been drawn by Michael, so two in the wall, and there's one of them. Michitsumo Uda found, so 1,000, 2,000, a grand total of 4,000 picked up by Takahiro to open the game off. And we get to see Travis in his dealership. High Pie is a little bit awkward with those 2 Penchan, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe a 7 can be found quickly. If not, a lot of other terminal and honor tiles to work through. The 2 pin's great, though. Creates 1 diamond shape. See on the right, Michael is building towards perhaps a Pin Ricci. And no door just yet. Across the table, there's where the door can be found. Maybe Ipeko brewing the lower Manzu. Of course, any Ricci with 2 doors is going to be quite strong, even if you don't get Pinfu or Ipeko. And in fact, chooses to open here. What do you think about that move from Taka?
It looks like they're going for a quick Tanya Dora 2 hand.
There are
That's the only thing that they could be going for.
right. There are good floating tiles in the form of the 4 pin and the 5 to draw around. That
Mm-hmm.
means that we're definitely not building Ipeko though.
Yeah, definitely not.
And you're not terribly optimistic about being able to call a Dora, although it is a more terminal Dora tile, so maybe there is some hope that it could come out from another player. With these follow-up draws after making that early call working out quite nicely, some great shapes uh, from which to build towards Tempai. And on the left, Garth is looking at another one of those hands that looks kind of slow, although with all these pairs building, I think you have to at least consider Chitoi now.
Definitely.
4 pairs, not the greatest. Chitoi, especially without a Dora, but I mean, the well keeps giving you pairs. That is definitely an option. Travis with a very interesting shape here. It is technically Ishanten with the Peiko
It's not an
chance.
ideal one because you have a Penchang and a Kanchan to fill to get to Tempai.
Yeah, I'm trying to find another path here. Maybe holding that Tuso to increase your Sozu acceptance might be an option. Although we do have a Tempai now.
36 pin.
Taka does draw the 3-mon and the 7-mon himself. And
There's 1 6 pin left in the wall for that weight.
that's the only tile in the wall. Oh my goodness, we can see a Khan?
Come.
He actually had a choice there. Declined the Shaba weight 4-pin 2-mon, where if you Tsumo, you also get Saranko.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the type of player that would greed for the Suanko there? Or Sananko, I should say?
I mean, with one of the shapes being a Dora, I definitely would. Just because you can just draw another Dora and it's automatic Mongun.
Yeah, and with Sananko
Or Hagemon.
and the Dora, it would turn to Hanemon. Does end up drawing the last 6-pin, as you called, and that is a big result, especially after the con giving him the Fu boost. That means Taka sitting up at 40,000. A very comfortable lead for now, moving into East 3. Okay, Michael.
Really nice starting hand for Michael.
And that's a pretty decent first
really
draw
like
for
it.
considering Tanyo. Do you foresee Sanchoku as a possibility here? Is that something that you're considering?
6, 7, 8 Sanshoku?
Yes.
Not really. It's not something I think of when I see this hand, just because the 8-so is very by itself. Although if we do draw another pair, you can definitely transition into a Sanshoku.
Sure, and maybe something like the 7-mon, 7-so, we can consider it a little bit. But very ideal start for Michael here. We're anticipating a faster hand from him. Just quickly scanning, I'm also seeing a fast hand on the left. Looks like, well, actually Travis discarding one of these diamond shapes because he has so many of them. I suspect it's slightly more efficient to cut the 3-so. But
This is Tempai. No, it's not.
a very
There's no
wide
thought.
Ishanten.
And drawing an 8-pin or a 9-pin can get you closer to Itsu as well.
Yeah, oh, so if you drew 8-pin, I guess maybe it's better to go 6-mon, 7-mon cut there.
I mean, you could also drop the 9-so because you'd be 6, 7, 8 Sanshoku.
Yeah,
and
that's a
then you
really
can
good
drop
point.
the 1-pin and hope to draw a 2 or a 5-pin with the extended Nobiton weight.
Yeah, that's actually so wide in the Pinsu. Every draw gives you Tempai in that case. And as you said, there's a lot of draws that give you the Sanchoku chance, or Tanyo and Sanchoku.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely feels more appealing to me now that you've mentioned it. Garth with the Ricci, though, across the table. Ricci, Dora 1, waiting on the 3-so. Maybe we've initiated Garth as a member of the Sanzo cult.
Is Tempai? No, it's not.
A tile where you're like, surely this has to be, but somehow, as wide as this is, hasn't been able to find Tempai just yet. Oh, interesting. I also just noticed
There's
that.
Tempai.
And it's 3-sided too. Well, Dama.
That's interesting.
The weight this wide, usually use slam if you're choosing to fight.
リーチ
Okay, waits one turn. Slams, we'll see if it gets rewarded. For the 258 weight,
ロン
Ooh.
will not matter because Michael's dealer ended up drawing into the Tanya Tempai and finding the 6-pin first. So all the pin tiles lining up. And Michael, the beneficiary of the 2 Regi sticks in addition to the 1500, will move back over 30,000 and retain the dealership. Ooh. This feels like a want to be Honitsu Haipai.
ポン
And
Yes.
Michael's moving straight forward. Actually, interestingly, cuts the Haku first. After calling the Pon. Even once cut, I feel like the Haku has some value in the hand for Honitsu. Maybe he's just trying to disguise it a little bit.
I mean, with your first cut being a Sozu and then an honor tile from the hand, it's not like a Tsumogiri or something. Because there was a call, I think you should have kept the Haku, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, and
Yeah,
here's the
should have kept the
punish.
Haku.
Also, no cut on the west, notably. Seems fair enough.
They might have no calls on. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a choice. I don't know, con there when you just have Honitsu only, maybe it has a chance to
Maybe
increase your own
flip
value, but
Sundora.
right. Okay, maybe this was correct for the double east instead of just the Haku.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. There is one east in the wall and one 7-pin for this weight. And there is the option, of course, if you draw into, say, a 3-pin or an 8-pin, to just switch to the multi-sided weight
ポン
in the Pinzu. But we're gonna have a fight from Garth across the table. Calls the Chun into Tempai. 5-8 so for Chun only. Travis.
His 8-so might come out soon.
Yeah, there are some draws that will encourage that 8-so to come out. For example, 6-so. Or this 5-so.
Or 5-so.
Travis cannot
Don't.
dodge, but that actually is relatively inexpensive. Sort of acceptable losses when you consider the alternative is dealing into Michael's double tone Honitsu Mangan. So that will somewhat peacefully move us forward into East 4. Takahito, the leader, now with a chance as the dealer. This is an interesting Haipai to play. Two
pairs in a Anko.
Yeah, it looks like it can't be much more than a Ricci with Dora. Unless you start to draw more Anko. Triplets for Saranko or something like that. And of course, gives up the 2-pin because we already have the 5-pin accepting most of the same tiles that the 2-pin accepts. And he wants to hold this east for as long as possible.
Looks like Travis across the way might be going for Kokushi.
We'll keep our eyes on that. I believe that's an 8 start with 1 pair. Tanya typed hand to the right and a Tanya typed hand to the left. Two people who will potentially be opening to combat the typically slow Kokushi hand. It looks like Michael on the left is, although has called once for Tanya, the 2s are not the best floating tiles to build upon. Even if you draw a 3 to create a diamond shape, the 1, there's the possibility of drawing the 1 and then being 50-10 or having no Yaku. It looks like he will accept this 1-pin even though it really won't create a Yaku for the hand. Big question mark on the door as well for Travis. You know, it's always difficult as the Kokushi player to decide when to back away, especially when there are open players. If I was Travis, I wouldn't necessarily be reading that the one open player is Tenpai just yet, especially if they're discarding 1-pin, 2-pin. It still seems like they're searching. Everyone's still searching. Seeing 4 pairs on the right, and I'm curious, you know, what is the likelihood that that turns into cheat toy? Is there a particular draw that will move you that way? I guess this 6-pin kind of moves us off of any of those ideas. The 4-so is the draw that I had in mind, but we have a way to use that. So Ishan 10 for Garth.
リーチ
This is actually a pretty good weight. 9-pin north. 3 of them in the wall.
Surprisingly, even with the Kokushi player, Kokushi not holding any of the north tiles, there's the 9-pin, but Michael does dodge. Safe 2-so. Pays completely live though. Brief pause as Travis considers the call and decides against it. That's 2 safe tiles. I think we're going to Ryukyoku.
In the north, we're just in the dead wall.
Both of them dead. Well, Taka will take the 1,000 from each player, as the only one Tenpai. Will leave the reach stick in the middle. Honba added to the tally and opens up this very pretty looking high pie.
It is double east pair.
2 away from Tenpai and callable. Relatively easily improvable in the Sozu as well. On the right, well, that hand just got a lot more exciting.
Draw up the Dora Anko.
And oh no,
All the Doras accounted for too.
Taka just drew the 1-2, and now he can think about, 1, 2, 3 Sanshoku. But as you said, the Dora all accounted for, the 3-pin will never come. Across the table for Travis, that looks like it wants to be a Ricci Pinfu. Maybe even Ipeko now. And on the left, another hand that is very close to slamming a Ricci as well. He shunt them. What are those? Oh my goodness, it just draws it? Okay.
リーチ
So I was just about to say, one of those hands that is Ishan 10, but it should take a while before it gets Tenpai. And then, of course, immediately feels an Anko.
That's always how it works out, isn't it?
Right. And now Taka has a decision as the dealer from his Ishan 10 position. How much does he want to fight? Pass the 1-so in the Chun. On the right, Garth as well has to make a decision. With all the Dora, the Ricci hand probably not too valuable. So how far does he want to press his hand?
This is Tenpai.
リ
Yeah,
ー
this is
チ
Tenpai.
Nice 7-mon cut.
リーチ
Oh, and Taka will fight, but this 3-pin is never going to be found. Ricci double tone though, very strong. And Adora, presumably Adora when he wins. Instead, the 2-mon's going to come out.
ドン
That's going to deal Travis across the table. Ricci, no me. But picks up a tremendous amount of sticks, 4 sticks, and the Honba as well. Makes the hand well worth it. And we're into the South rounds. Hello. I guess this is
Can
Ishan
someone
10.
say Suanko?
Yeah, it's Ishan 10, but we're really not thinking about
ポン
Chitoi here. Okay, gives up on Suonko Toy, and maybe Chinitsu.
We're going to Toys R Us today. How fun.
I wonder
チー
if and when Garth will give up on the... Oh my goodness.
You're just tempai. There's one 5-pin left out in the wall, but this 5-pin might come out from Toyman's hand, from Michael's hand.
For sure. It's way too early for this hand to be Tempai. Presumably the 1-pin comes out first. And I'm guessing Garth
Yeah.
does not con, right?
相撲
No. Just Sumo,
Just
the last
Sumo.
one.
Just Sumo.
Songanko Toy Toy.
When the wall doesn't matter. Huge hand from Garth, and that is going to almost allow him to take over first place. Certainly right in the conversation for it. Well, when you're gifted that hand, you it feels really good to convert. And of course, Garth doesn't realize that was the last 5-pin, but you imagine that is not very live in the wall. And I am very curious though if any player out there does not sumo that for Dealer Mongon and instead cuts the 5-mon pair and tries to go for some Chinitsu Toy Toy shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a little too greedy, right?
A little bit.
I guess, yeah, because a lot of the times you don't even get Toy Toy. It's just Chinitsu for Mongon anyway. But we're going to have an early Richi here from Michael. Richi Dora
6-pin.
6-pin, 2 left in the wall.
It was so close to Sanshoku.
Right. I wonder if you can wait, actually, because you have the Sanchoku upgrade, and this is a bad wait. And it's also turn 3, so you know you're not expecting anyone to catch up to you
地
too quickly.
And there's the Pinfu upgrade.
I've heard this described as, you know, count the number of tiles you have to win, and count the number of upgrade tiles you have. And the winning tiles we have were the 6-pin, which had 3 left at the time, and the upgrade tiles were, you know, 4-pin, 8-pin, 7-so, 3-so, 6-so, a grand number of tiles, a lot more than the Tsumo for sure. So I think there's some, maybe by that logic, you could argue for taking holding the Dhamma for a bit. But we see Garth here pressing his dealership for a Junchan Sanchoku potentially with Dora.
Easy Mongon.
And you can see even
9
holding...
pins are dead though.
That will make it a bit tricky. Certainly not live in the wall. Now, 1 came out, so that might encourage Taka to discard his soon. Although Taka is Ishanten for a Chitoy of his own with 2 Dora. He's got some incentive to fight as well. 2 pins still safe. Oh, step by. Step pin even Suji to the Richi, so it's a little bit better than a random tile. And if Taka tries to bail out with his 9-pin, he'll be in trouble. Instead, he gets Tempai. So he'll jam the 6-pin.
ドン
Did not want to drop the door indicator, but instead will deal into Ichidora Uda. Although that passes the dealership away from Garth, he does claim first place as a result, moving into South 2. All right. It's battle heating up and towards the middle of the pack. Michael and Taka now about the same area. Travis in last place with his last dealership. Needs to make the most of this one. And opens up with 2 Dora and a Tanyao type hand. Very promising. I feel like I kind of want to hold the 6-pin a bit because we have a chance to call for Tanyao. And the 6-pin's a really nice floating tile to build around. But 6-mon also, it's a lot of use in this hand. On the right, Michael aiming for a Richi Pinfit perhaps. if he can fill some of these kanchan shapes across the table. Great shapes for Takahiro. That is Ishanten, right?
Across the
Technically.
table?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think it was 2 Shanten. No, it was Ishanten.
Not a very good Ishanten. This Formon makes it look a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some of these pairs can turn into diamond shapes for Takahiro, so definitely improvable, easily improvable, especially with a Dora draw. On the left, Garth has a culpable hand. Jun hasn't come out though. And is approaching Tenpai as well. There's a 5-pin, that certainly is great. Now perfect Ishanten across the table, and here's that Chun. Out it comes, but Garth had just discarded away from his pair. Tragedy. Taka thinking hard about this discard. You can cut the 5-mon and hold the perfect Ishanten with Dora acceptance. But goes with a 7-so instead. Why do you guess? If you had to guess, what would you say is the reason for that?
I mean, Pinfu 1 door is worth the same as Pinfu Tanyao.
For the Tanyao play. Yeah, and
Yeah.
even here, cutting away from the 1-mon just confirms that theory. Huge pickup from Travis. Grabs the 4-so that allows him to call straight into Tenpai.
リーチ
We're going to see the Richi though from Takahiro. Richi, Tanyao, Pinfu. 3-6-mon.
1 6-mon, 1 3-mon left in the wall.
Travis is the dealer with this value, wants to fight here, but has to push some really dangerous tiles. Starts with the 8-mon. Okay, gonna drop the whole 8-mon shape. And does indeed draw a very dangerous 3-mon. That means Taka down to 1 tile.
And that's Tenpai for Garth. It's Pinfu.
It chooses to Dama here.
I mean, it's 1 tile away from a Sanshoku Tenpai.
True, and might be able to, if he Damas, might be able to see the Nakasuji 4-mon come out.
Mm-hmm.
And the 1-mon, of course, completely dead, so not even a very strong weight either. Seems like a good Dama. One more point towards Dama here is that he's in the lead and he doesn't need to risk anything.
And it's also super late in the round. Donating 1,000 points doesn't seem super great.
In the end, it will be Garth and Taka Tenpai, each picking up 1,500 points. Dealership will pass us into South 3. This is promising for Michael. That Mon shape, oh, it gets the 6-mon as well. So it's a wonderful draw, but it's a very confusing shape. We'll see how Michael handles it. I want there to be a 5, 6, 7, or 7, 8, 9 Santoku, but don't need to force
Yeah,
that.
it looks so nice. There's the 7-pin.
In the right, we have 2 Dora for Taka, so perhaps a hand worth fighting for. Across the table, West is callable for Garth, and I imagine he will accept a somewhat cheaper hand if it means confirming first place. On the left, Travis might be working towards an Itsu in the Sozu, but the one downside is that he's so close to Tenpai, he'll have to drop a block in order to get there. And that means, depending on how he draws, he could just end up giving up on the Itsu altogether. We've got a wide Ishanten for Michael. Now, if he draws like 6-0, 8-0, and slams a Ricci, what is that weight?
ポン
It would be 479 mon.
So wide. Three-sided. Very atypical shape.
チ
There's the calls. Garth calling straight into Tempai. Oh, on the 7 so
Gee.
that Michael was just about to get rid of. And it feels like he's just moments away from dealing in now.
ポン
I actually don't think they're moments away because the 4-5 so is free 10 because they dropped the 3 so earlier.
Oh, yeah.
So the 4 so is more likely to come out than the 7 so.
upon getting Tempai. So unless he redraws the 3 so, if he finds Tempai in
Each.
any other way, oh, slams this Ricci. Still,
Strong.
it still deals in.
Oh
Because
no!
Garth just switched his weight off of the 7 and onto the 9-6 Shabo. just as we thought Michael was getting away from it, does end up dealing in. And it is inexpensive, so Michael's still in 3rd place, but we're in all last. Garth with the lead, Taka trying to chase in this dealer spot. And I'm going to have to put Taka's hand on hold because what is going on across the table? That looks like Nitsu in the making with double Yakuhai.
Hongitsu, what, Chanta?
Honitsu Chanta, Dora, Yakuhai. That's a Hanuman.
Mm-hmm.
If he were to hit Garth directly with that,
That would be a first place.
チ
full swing from 4th to 1st. Taka looking good with a 6-ball draw though. 2 away from Tempai. There's a pair with a 1 so. Make it a little bit harder for Travis to get this Chanta. Unless Garth chooses to discard away from that block entirely. Oh, it's Tempai. 1-4 so. And Garth has Tanyao. Does he break the 1 so pair? No, holds it.
I mean, it's also one Ishan 10 from Kitoy.
You're right. So hold for the
Boom.
Chitoy. Calls though. Is it a Toy? Does have switches to the pay Taki,
Boom.
but that's held too, and that gives Garth the Toy Tempai. The pay is usually so good here, but Taka just has an Anko. Cutting
Unless
away.
he chooses to bail with the Norths.
Right, and there's some worlds where the North becomes the pair in the hand, and he discards that with Ricci.
Strong.
But instead, it's going to be the Toy that wins it. Wow. Well, Travis correctly reading the 1 so was not live, but that does allow Garth to win. Another 2,600 confirmed first place, plus 27.6 for Garth. Takahiro gets plus 7.4 for a second place. Michael minus 11.6 in 3rd, and Travis the minus 23.4 4th place, but had a glorious hand at all last that fell a little bit short. Was not destined to win that one. Standings will update in a little bit. And we see Taka starting that climb upwards. Garth as well.
There is a world where Garth gets 7 more first places and gets out of demotion range.
At an average of 30 per first place, would definitely be out of the relegation zone. All right, let's see. We've got another game starting very soon. They've already moved to game number 2. Whoa, that's quite a bit larger than typical. Go ahead and fix that in a second. And incidentally, the C1 game also starting. So we will look for results from that game about the same time this one ends. All right, this time around, it will be Takahiro in the dealer seat to start off. Travis to the right, Michael across the table, and Garth on our left. Rachel, do you have a preference for what seat you like to start in for your Armble games?
I think South and West seats are my favorite. I definitely don't like starting East. I don't feel like I win the first hand all too often. And being North seat, and needing to get change placement in all S is always super hard.
Yeah, it is true. If you're in, if everyone has incentive to aim for a cheap hand, then a lot of times you don't get the chance to play that all last spot. But Garth did start out in the East seat in the last game and got a first place. So we'll see if Taka has that same fortune. Hypai Wise dealer is looking towards perhaps a Tanya, but I'm just kind of immediately zooming into Toyman's hand. They've already discarded Dodora because their shapes are amazing. They've got Anko of the Hatsu already, and they're just overblocked with Diamond shapes. One of these shapes has to come out. Which one do you think it will be?
For me, probably 8-7 pin. Or 3-4 so, because if you draw a 5-mon, that's a 3-sided
I see.
weight shape.
Now, of course, the 3-4 and the 6-7 overlap on the 5. You could see that as a detriment. But on the other hand, if you do draw the 5, it's a huge plus for the hand. And of course, whatever shape gets discarded is partially going to depend on what chunk is
what
drawn.
You draw.
So here, yes, 7 pin makes a lot of sense. It's just the widest Ishanten.
リーチ
Pitaka gets there first, slams a Richi Tanyao, discards the door to do so. Waiting 5-8 Mon.
I think there's 1 5-mon left in the wall and 2 8-mons.
So it seems more live than the weights we saw in the last game. I feel like there were a couple of one-outer sumos. Michael sort of giving up on this 1 pin. Still holding Ishanten though. But does not want to fight against a dealer Richi. And out goes Hatsu. Travis on the right has this Ipeko with the Pinzu that sort of encourages the fight. I mean, if not Ipeko, could be 7 pairs.
Five pairs, yeah.
It feels like he's kind of trying to fight this a little bit, especially with a 5 so cut. It was actually not too dangerous because of the 2 so early from Taka and the 3 6 so that are visible. Sort of one chance for the 5/8 shape. But we have a chase from Garth with Richi Dora 1, Richi Pinfu Dora 1. Waiting on the Genbutsu 9 pin. Oh, but draws the 5, and that's
No.
going to be a deal in Richi Tanyo and no Uda, so only 3,900. You know, a lot of times when you're fighting a Richi and you've got to wait on, you've got a Yaku and you've got to wait on until it's Genbutsu Udama, but you lose some value doing that. And it looks like in this case, Garth said the value from reaching here is definitely worth it. Looks like Taka will repeat with an Anko of Haku to start. Quite promising, even though the other shapes aren't incredible. There are still some very good floating tiles. No door in this hand. On the right, we've got Travis, who might have a Tanyao or just a Richi. No door in that hand. Found the door across the table. It is Michael, door pair. And that is also his win, so he can call for it too. Now, Kohai door 3 would be insane. Travis.
Depending on draws, could also shift to a Hongitsu or Toy Toy.
Oh, speaking of draws.
Or both.
Yeah, that opens up all the possibilities. And I imagine you're gonna call just about any pawn here. Oh my, another mon tile? Sand clear path now.
Home.
Taka will call the 7 so into Ishantam. Do you chi this?
Chi.
Michael chooses to.
Personally, no.
Yeah, I think I
But
agree.
maybe he's feeling lucky with getting another 7-mon.
Right. I mean, he saw that Travis didn't need a 7-mon before, so surely he can't use a second one, right? In this case, there is a second 7-mon in Travis's hand, and it is currently being used. Oh, in fact, gives up the 9-8 shape completely, going back a shanten.
Maybe it was a misclick.
That is also possible. Like the call comes up, you're like, yes, I need this tile. Oh wait, that's not the tile that I wanted it to be. Oh wow, or just
Hey, it just works out.
foresee the Hatsu in the wall. This is some incredible stuff from Michael, and now Garth with a decision to make on this West Wind.
There's Tempai from Takahiro.
On the Sansa, which is completely live in the wall. Oh, but he draws the West, and it comes
Boom.
out. Pulling into Tempai, big weight.
3/6-mon Hatsu.
And oh, this 2-mon is terrible, but he's shoving. I feel like you have to read Tempai from here. So that means that Taka's is just content to fight this, even if you're a Hanuman here. Because that would be Hanuman, Yakuhai, Honitsu, Door 3.
Chi.
Do you read that as Honitsu though, with all the overflow?
The 9-8 overflow is weird. That is true. And perhaps this is just the biggest brain play by Michael. Cutting the 9-8 to disguise that it's not Honitsu. But no, the 3 so. And he folds on it?
He folds.
What? That's the read of the year for Michael. How does he know? Why does he care?
He gets to Tempai.
Back to Tempai. Oh my goodness, if he wins this hand, he's a genius.
Sumo.
Oh, and it's Travis. Travis will shut it down with Sanchoku Tanyao. Incredible. How did he know?
How did he know for like all the decisions he made?
I know this. All right, Michael's playing a different game here. We thought we were playing mahjong.
He's playing 4D chess.
It's incredible. Well, it looks like there are some sparkling hands at this table as well. Across the table might be Garth's turn for the Manzu Honitsu with the Chun pair. Dealer's hand also looks incredible for an early Richi Tanyao, maybe Pinshu as well. And the Dora? Well, found one of those. Hold on to that one for a little bit.
Home.
Garth will indeed open up with the Chun, and has been playing this very straightforward. We'll see if Garth makes some insane move like 1-mon 2-mon to hold the door or something. Hold this Hatsu. Somehow use the Hatsu as the pair. Something crazy. Travis looking very good to repeat though, and even Taka on the left. That is Ishanten.
Talk on the left started Ishanten. It wasn't a great Ishanten, but it was Ishanten off draw.
Wow. And this is not a great Tempai, but it is a Tempai, so we hold it and wait for 6-0 to come out, or a better weight. Preferably a better weight. Notably, Travis holding onto this Dora can be a little bit risky, especially because the only way he can really use this is to just pair it up. And he loses Tanyao chance, which isn't, of course, a guarantee. But against a Honitsu, I'm slightly concerned about dropping it too late into the hand.
I mean, at this point, I don't think you can drop the south.
That's true. At some point,
Regardless
it's just
of
too
if
late.
you get to Tempai.
And even if he isn't Tenpai, if he pawns it, it's still
Reach.
Hanuman Tenpai, and you could end up
Reach.
paying out the Oyaka, but he will just chase though with the Dora after Taka chases, declares Ricci. 3-6 so versus 3-6 so. There's 6 tiles in the wall. Who does the wall favor?
つも
It's the dealer. That's a big one. Ricci, Tsumo, Pink, Tanya, and Uda.
Nora.
Still 26 all is a great pickup for Travis, who will catapult himself into a very strong lead. Taka's still above 30k, but definitely advantage Travis. All right, this I buy. And my first thought is Konitsu or Chinitsu, but then I see that Dora shape. I get second thoughts.
Yeah.
I think these types of hands are really difficult to play because there is a very straightforward path if you choose to take it. And then that involves dropping the Dora, and you never really want to drop Dora. It sort of looks like Travis is playing this to move in the direction of Honitsu or Chinitsu, but hedge the Dora for as long as possible. But that does sacrifice acceptance in all of the other suits. See on the right, Michael, not the most amazing hand. Maybe Itsu and the Manzu for some value. Across the table, Garth, excellent hand. Ishanten all ready for Ricci Tanya, maybe Ricci Tanya Pinfu with the Dora. And on the left, Chanta. Perhaps.
Or Kokushi.
Or Kokushi, yeah. 8 in a pair. Still floating everything. Garth goes ahead and it preemptively cuts this 3-pin in order to accept both the 2-5 so and the 7 so into this hand. Always love to see that play. All right, decision time, Taka. What is it going to be?
Is it Kokushi or is it? It's Chanta.
That definitely has the higher win rate.
本
And this hesitation on the pawn isn't really deciding whether or not to pawn, I think. It's probably deciding what to discard after calling.
Mm-hmm.
本
Like we'll get a call right back into Ishantan. And Travis has also improved to Dian Shantan with Itu chance. It's kind of impressive with all the pin tiles that Taka has had to discard. None of them have really been useful to Travis just yet. Oh, that's a great draw. I think 6 pin is normal here, right?
Or 9-pin.
Or 9 pin. 8 pin.
8-pin.
I think one of the downsides to 8 pin is it holds a lot of pairs, which are usually less efficient. Ooh, this 5 will deal right in
4
to the open time round. Tanya will 2,000 points. Garth will bring another player below 30k, and now the scores have evened out. Outside, of course, Travis with a huge lead. Michael now in the dealer's seat. High pie, 3 pairs, awkward shapes. It's really difficult for me to play hands that have shapes that are not good because it's very difficult to get them to improve so easily. I'd almost rather have a bunch of terminals and floating, or rather, a bunch of honors and good floating tiles than multiple conchons. Now a 4th pair. Very normal cuts here from dealer, but we'll have to make some decisions, some hard decisions in the near future. On the right, that might turn into a Tanya for Garth. Has a Dora 5-mon in hand. Great floating 6-so as well. Across the table, the hand is a mess.
Kokushi.
Another Kokushi / Honitsu, one of the two. It also has the East, so can make use of that, especially if he draws the Dora. I think that's why he's been holding this 4-6 Kanchan shape. On the left, Travis made Itsu. But nothing spectacular there. Oh, big draw for Garth, though. Eight pin. The reason being, this Ishanten is very wide. It's got 3 completed blocks in a pair. And so it's Kutsuki, it's sticky. Ishanten waiting around this 4 mon or 6 so. Misses out on Tenpai here, but that's okay. You're willing to make that sacrifice if it means you can draw the 5 mon straight into Richi Pinfu door to the Peiko-chans. It should definitely be Garth first to Tenpai, but between the other 2 players, we're ignoring the Kokushi, or Honitsu it looks like now. Between Michael and Travis, maybe Michael with the slight edge? Well, this is Tenpai, but it's such a bad Tenpai that I wonder if I would even take it.
I think I would have thrown the 2 mon back because you can see 3 3-mons.
And one less useful here, we'll just come right out.
Does that 5-pin make you Tenpai? Nope. Ishanten, though.
The slow nature of these hands has been giving Taka time to build something, and he hasn't really been drawing anything either.
1
2 away from Tenpai now. With the door being 5 mon, I'd be very nervous as Taka that there's a Dama with Tanyao and Dora 3 or something.
1
Alright, Garth says it's time. We've hit row 3.
I'll wait.
The weight's not
I'll wait
good,
on the 3-mon.
but it will apply pressure. Taka with essentially infinite save tiles against this Richi, though. Like, looks like he wants to get out of here. There's that 3. Oh, and it comes out!
4
Interesting.
Yeah, it didn't necessarily look safe to Garth, but maybe just the fact that so many were out, it gave the illusion of safety. And it ended up being a relatively inexpensive win, though. Garth will happily take those points, moving into his 4 into his dealership. And has a callable hand. It's not an amazing one, not particularly speedy or valuable, but you can make up for lack of speed in shapes-wise with the fact that you can call the Chun and then call some of the bad shapes away. In fact, Garth might even be willing to call something like a 7 pin or 7 mon or 3 so to help speed up the hand even further. On the right, Taka with multiple pairs, but looks like it wants to just be Richi Ipeko, something like that. No door just yet, but certainly can accept multiple 3 mon. Speaking of multiple 3 mon, Travis pairs up the Dora. And now sitting with 4 pairs, but also a hand that wants to declare Richi. I was going to say Richi, like Richi Penfu, or Richi Shabuwade, but now 5 pairs. We definitely have
Eiko. Oh, sorry, Chitoi.
Chitoi Brain. Tanyao? I mean, you probably...
North?
How do you feel about 4 mon? I think that's probably... Oh, just throws the Dora.
ポン
I like 4-mon better. Or even North would be fine.
Yeah. North. If your plan is Tanya, I think keeping the Dora Anko chances is great. But we have Garth finally opening up with that chun. Comes out from Michael's hand. And he is now Ishanten, so could end this hand. There's the door draw for Taka.
リーチ
It's Tenpai. 3... Just the 3 for Ipeiko? Just the door itself?
地
What an odd shape in the Manzu. It will be a Mong on if it
Gee.
wins. No more 3 on the wall, and the 3 that are held are very held. Very unlikely they'll come
They're
out.
very secure
Yeah.
in their shapes.
Trying to see if Travis has a good path to Tenpai here. It doesn't look like he currently has something completely safe. 6-pin is Nakatsuchi at least. 4-pin also relatively safe. So he'll just avoid the Manzu, which is the danger suit. Now it actually be... Oh, I guess the 6-pin is already discarded twice.
地
Garth into Tenpai on the 7. The 7-mon which just came out from
Gee.
Travis. Travis who is now Tenpai, and there's the last 7-mon, but Michael's busy cutting these pin tiles. And we will find a peaceful conclusion. Travis does pass the 1-so, and it will be 3 players Tenpai. Very interesting situation. Everyone fighting for Tenpai against this Richi. And that means Dealer will retain the spot here in the east, or as east, with a stick and a homba, and a Hypai that
Home.
can accept Dora, but outside of that is not the most promising.
What do you think of the Hatsu drop?
Oh yeah, normally you
After
cut like
pulling
the
the
Shaw,
north.
right?
I think it was a misclick.
Mm-hmm. Very intentionally holding the west though now that the Haku's come out. So maybe he likes the idea of pairing up, wants to pair up an honor tile, doesn't care if it gives a Yaku.
Oh, I was talking about Toyman.
Ah, Toyman.
Called the pay and dropped the Hatsu.
Oh, was it a Hatsu pair cut?
It was a Hatsu pair cut.
Oh yeah, it definitely feels like a misclick then. Yeah, I've done it before. Not usually on Tenho. Like you call and then the tiles start shifting, and you've already planned out where your mouse was gonna go, and all of a sudden you're not clicking the tile you thought you would be. That means that
リーチ
it'd be very difficult for Travis to do anything in this hand, especially when there's a Richi to handle. And that's a Richi with
6
Dora
pin.
Tonki.
Door Tonki.
Richi door 2 with all the door in the wall. That's way more live than you're anticipating it to be. I think the alternative to taking that Richi is to, like, I don't know, 1-pin, 2-pin. At which point you might as well just take the Richi.
1-pin, 2-pin. Like keep 3-pin as a pair and draw something around the Dora.
Right. I mean, you could just 3-pin at Dama and then Richi something else. But then you have to drop the door. That doesn't feel very good either.
I think I like the 1-pin, 2-pin. Draw something around the Dora.
Garth now pretty wide Ishantam. I say pretty, it's incredibly wide. Is Taka considering pawn? I don't think so. Not from Chitoi Shantan.
There's still no Dora other than the one that is in Michael's hand.
Yeah, that's pretty
Everything's
incredible.
in the end of the wall.
Do you know the statistics on like how many Dora are expected to be drawn at various points in the game?
No, but I think it's like at the beginning, shouldn't half of them be in hands?
That might be it. I was actually I think on the Monday night stream, I had this thought like the statistics should be known and known or easily computable. I should compute them, and then I
think by
forgot by
the
the end of the stream.
by the end of the sixth drop is halfway through the hand, so half the Dora should be out.
Well, finally we see a Dora. Of course, Garth will not discard that so easily. Still very Ishanten. One of the Dora in this final draw. Nope.
1、
Garth will call and pass the save 9 pin. And that'll give Michael one more draw. Misses that too. And fortunately avoids Hote because that was a 5-6-8, so wait for Garth. Could have easily dealt into that hand. Oh, hello.
Hello.
I'm thinking Suisa.
There's no Wests in other people's hands, so can someone say sushi?
Let's go for it all. Can we get a double? I do not care what's in the other hands. I'm just focused on Garth here. What are his draws? No, a Haku got cut. Hatsu's still in the wall though. He's held. And out comes one. So pull and double tone. That's all the hand is. It's just a double tone. Not too scary. Okay, Garth not going for maximum greed. Okay, so it's two call, maybe Toy, maybe Honitsu. Oh, if he passed the pay
There's
though,
a West.
he would have drawn
There's
the West.
first West.
It's okay, 3 more on the wall.
There's a Dora.
Ooh, well, forget the Honitsu idea.
That could still be Honitsu if we draw a West. Drop the 1-2 so.
That's true. Right now we're looking at double tone Chanta Dora. That's not too bad. Waiting on Sanzo, of course.
If a South comes up, do you call it?
Well, first of all, it's gonna be a run. It doesn't matter, but oh, that's a really tough one. I want to. I think I would. Yeah, I would.
Because then you can just switch your 1-so to a Honitsu wait.
Yeah. There's a lot of reasons to do it. I like that idea. All right, I'm glad you brought it up. Maybe we can get the chat to tune in on this as well. Would you pawn the South for sushi chance and Honitsu chance, or do you wait on the Sanzo because you like the meme? Yeah, that's right. We've got some Yakuman dreamers in chat. That's the way to do it. All right, this is an interesting hype for Garth. Maybe thoughts of Itsu or 789 Sanchoku? Would love to be able to use this Dora. Even if you pair up the Dora, you're absolutely thrilled. See, on the right, that's a very nice painful looking start. Across the table, Travis. We are still in the East round, so it's callable. And opens up with the Pom. Ishita now chooses to retain the 6-8 Mon. Left, that hand has a lot of work to do. No, 3 Mon certainly helps though. Is it enough to match the speed of these other players though? 7-pin, great pull. The question of what the pair for this hand is going to be will be answered later. Now Garth just keeping the widest tile acceptance here. Choice to make, goes ahead and gives up the Itsu chance. Still retains Sanchoku and, of course, the future headless Ishanten. In the meantime, Travis across the table has found Ishanten. This is kind of interesting. We throw the 9 back. We cut 8-pin, 8-pin, 2-pin, 2-pin. Goes with the 2-pin here. Perhaps this will allow him to use the door later on. And that 5-mon draw for Garth actually gives Ishanten. We use the 5-mon as pair and wait on the 8-so or draw the 8-so into Pinshu Tenpai. Ishanten status for all these players though. Might go with a very interesting 4-mon cut.
They drew a Dora pair.
Yeah. Although it does give up the 3/5 Sanchoku chance. So maybe 1-mon, 2-mon. Slightly greedier, perhaps.
It could have also dropped the 8-so and had 9-pin as the pair.
Perhaps
Kang.
didn't like the 3/6-mon. Oh wow,
Flipped
Cons!
into a 4 Dora.
Cons into 4 Dora, okay. Well, this Tenpai can be 3-sided now.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, this hand that was so innocuous is a huge threat. And this 3-mon is gonna come out.
Oh no.
Tondora 4 after flipping the Kakan, the add-on con. 4 Dora from that.
That was a got Tenpai, might as well con this extra tile. Get upgrades the weight.
And then wins immediately afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
All right, big first place now for Travis. Garth still in relatively strong standing here, and Taka now has a lot of ground to catch up. For the East seat, not paying dividends this time around. Not yet, at least. We'll see if he can make something happen in this hand. Hyper looks pretty strong. Great floating tiles, Pinfu potential, but no Dora just yet. All right, Travis with okay shapes. That penchant and the Manzu, not so hot, but outside of that, really optimistic about that hand. Across the table, Michael, a ton of pairs. 1, 2, 3 pairs and an uncle. Perhaps San Uncle in the future. And on the left, Garth, Tanya type shapes. Door acceptance, though. Of course, I'm always dreaming of Sanchoku, so there's a path here. Alright, does Taka play for the chance at Ipeko or just the wider acceptance? And plays for the wider tile acceptance here. Oh, this is a sneaky Tenpai. It's Richi Nomi, but
リーチ
I don't. Okay, you do take it.
I mean, it waits on pay, which is always nice. And it's got a Nakasuji trap, and I love Nakasuji. Of course, I died to Nakasuji in my games the other day, but you know what? That's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
Okay.
I think the player I died to is in this chat, too. So, weighty game for the pay. Also, Travis can fight here a little bit. Ishantem. I mean, 4-pin is definitely a jam. That's Dora Suji. I'm not sure I would be willing to risk it, but you know what? It passed, so it's fine. Oh, and now perfect Ishanten for Travis. Or Richie, Tanyao, Pinfu, maybe Ipeiko even. I guess Pinfu not guaranteed. Could even call this for Tempai. Declines. Super wide for Travis. 4-5-6 Sanchoku possibility now as well. Which means he certainly won't be dropping the 6-0.
Boom.
Does choose to take the 8 mon though.
Interesting that you don't throw the 4-pin when it's
Oh, yeah, 5-pin
safe.
relatively safe, but definitely not safer than the 4-pin that you passed earlier. It does seem that Travis is very suspicious about this 3-pin maybe dealing into a penchant shape. So I guess the benefit of calling this way is that you can
1.
con the 3-pin if you draw it. We're going to see a Ricci from
Well,
Gartho
that's true.
chasing this down. 5-so, 8-so. Oh, but the 6-so.
Boom.
It's a double run. Taka misses on Uda. It's only 2,000 points. This is just a Tanyao. Relatively inexpensive for a double run. And because Taka was the player closest in turn order to the dealer, he will take the Ricci sticks from the middle. Taka retains the dealership, but this high pie is not what I'm thrilled about. It looks like a Ricci Nomi in the works, unless he can pair up this Dora. The right Itsu maybe. Sanchoku possibility as well. Sort of wait and see for Travis right now. Across the table, Michael. No Dora. Lots of pairs. Awkward hand to play for sure. And Garth probably the best hand on the left. Very straightforward Pinfu type blocks. Taka definitely targeting this Dora. Not going to drop for a while, given giving up these penchant shapes in order to hold on to that for as long as possible.
1.
Chi into 4-so cut indicates that Travis likes the Itsu idea more than the Sanchoku idea. Actually, that's a kind of curious spot there. I'm not sure which one's easier, Itsu or Sanchoku, in that spot.
I mean, the Sanshoku, um, sorry, the Sanshoku is, I think it would be easier because there's no way you can accidentally draw like a 4-so to, or like, because with the confirming Itsu, if you draw a 3-so, you're free 10.
And that will never happen with the
Gee.
Sanchoku plan.
Correct.
Alright, Taka decides it's time to give up on the Dora and opens up for Tanya. Oh, there's that 3-so, just as a big worry for Travis. We'll hold the Tempai. You could always draw the 6-so later and move back towards the normal hand. The downside is if the 6-so comes out, you can't chi it
1.
and then discard the 3-so. No swap calling allowed in Armel.
Boom.
Now there's actually an out for Travis to win this hand if Taka were to draw the 2-mon and con it.
1.
Oh, we're gonna see a Ricci.
That's true. Except it's in Garth's hand.
So impossible. And now Garth has a Riichi to contend with it, as does Taka. Riichi Chitoi waiting on the 5 so.
Chi.
Okay, so Travis will call and try to work around maybe 1 pin, or three pin, 1 pin, given that 3 mon, 1 mon, given that the 2 is gone. 3, not the safest tile against the Riichi, but it does clear. And now there's another Tempai, but it's Furiten. So let's say we'll just drop the 2 so, and Garth finds Tempai, slams a Riichi, and there's the 5 so. Taka has all the incentive in the world to fight this and will deal in with the 5 so. Riichi Chitoi. No Ura. 3,200 plus all of those sticks go to Michael. And the dealership will pass.
I like Garth's hand.
It seems like he tends to get these Yako high pair starts quite a bit. I think the first hand I ever saw was actually a Garth and Taka matchup. And he won an Oya Sambai with, a very similar Yakuhai heavy hand. Like Toi Toi, Yakuhai, Door 3, Bonitsu, something like that. The insane will snatch up that West. One of the door in the dealer's hand.
Reach.
Oh, but it's going to be an early reach from Michael. It's a great weight too. 7 mon, 8 mon. Chi Tanya. Garth is 2 away from Tempai.
Pom.
And will have some difficulty folding against this. Unless he wants to completely give up all these honor pairs. Looks like Travis wants to fight for his dealership, though.
There's too many pairs.
That's always the worst when you've called once for Toi Toi, and then you have 5 pairs in hand. Oh wow, Travis draws an Anko with the dealing tile. So now Michael only drawing towards 7 mons. And Taka is drawing all the 7 mons. Only 2 left in the wall now. Travis. Tempai jams the Dora. Lord Ton. Nomi.
If Garth gets closer to Tempa, he will deal in.
Oh, it looks like he is dealing in.
Dong.
And with a bonus food bump, it'll be 2,000 points plus the Richie stick. And wow, that early Richie ended up not panning out. It's kind of surprising that. But when you saw how the draws, filled out in everyone else's hands, makes sense. Bit unfortunate for Michael, though. Travis in this dealer spot again. 2, 3, 4 Sanchoku visible. Dora 6-0. Can fit in the hand as well. I love this high pie.
The hand just plays itself.
Yeah, by the time you've finished cutting all of these honor tiles, you're probably Ishantem.
Mm-hmm.
On the right, that also is Ishantem. Very fast for Michael. Great 3-so fill across the table for Garth. Still a couple tiles away from Tempai there. More than a couple. Taka did draw the Anko of the South, but unlikely to open this hand for something faster. Likely to aim for Richie.
Pom.
We're going to see the call into Tempai. Tanyao only currently, but Michael can, of course, draw a Dora and shift to a different weight here. One of the awkward things for Taka is now that 6 pin is called, both his 4, 5 pin and 7, 8 pin are damaged. or their acceptance is hurt here. So he might end up cutting away from one of those blocks. And if it's the 7-8 pin, it will deal in.
Eight pins coming out.
Feels somewhat
Or the
likely.
north.
ドン
So Tanya will end this hand, this dealership. And that will send us one round closer to the end of the game. 2 remain. And that's, we're getting to the point of the game where people are paying very close attention to their scores and their placement, trying to at least move up one spot or get to that 30K mark. My goal very close to accomplishing that goal and finding a positive score here. Garth not too far behind.
Taka's hand, starting with a Anko of South and then 3 pairs. Looks very Honitsu-like.
Very Honitsu. And if he starts to draw triplets, might forego the Honitsu in favor of something like a Suwanko attempt.
Mm-hmm.
I think, of course, Taka has won Suwanko in this league before. I think the only Suwanko that he's been Tenpai for have been Suwanko Tankis. And he has 50% win rate on those.
1 out of 2?
1 out of 2. And the one that he won was the surprising one. The one that he lost probably should have won, but his tile was twice in the dead wall.
Oh,
it's
that's
like
too
Suji
bad.
trapped terminal. It's twice in the dead wall. Ishan 10 on the left for Travis. A great hand here. Dealer is still struggling a bit. It really hurts to discard your honor tile and then immediately draw two more. Just chun chun chun. Oh, but that 8 pin. Now that's a great pickup. Can even see a Sanshoku here, 6, 7, 8. With a 7 so draw. You could theoretically cheat that 8 pin, cut the 5. It'd be in a in a winnable 7-mon Tenpai.
Reach.
Slams are reaching instead. So Richi, Pinfu, waiting 5-8 pin. Looks like 3 left in the wall for this weight. That puts the pressure on Taka now. How far does he want to continue to press here? Tries the 1 chance 9-mon. Now has Nakasuji 6-mon. No one else looks like they are planning to deal an 5 or an 8 anytime soon. Let's see, Haku, outside of the one that's visible as the door indicator, oddly live. When a tile is so noticeably not discarded, definitely feel a lot more hesitant to play it out there. Well, Tenpai found.
リーチ
Will slam the Richi. Richi non waiting 2-5. So, we're 5 so Ipeko. It's a very live tile though. 1 2 so, 1 5 so in the wall. He does find the 2 so though. It's Yasume. But 3 Han is good. And Uda would be even better if it hits it. Finds the 5, so the other weight is the Uda indicator, and that will give him the Mangon. And so going into all last, we have a real fight now for 3rd and 4th. Now, honestly, 2nd as well.
Honestly, all three of these players' goal is just to get to 30k in this one hand.
Yeah, will be tricky for Taka to do so. Mongan will fall 1,000
Needs
points
a
short.
Hanuman, yeah.
Maybe you could rely on, or try to rely on somebody slamming a Ricci and then taking their stick too. Although with this north call on the left, it looks like Michael's plan is not even necessarily make it to 30k, but just try to be second. Try to just be second. Even if you're taking a minus, 3.9, that's acceptable losses. Given where Michael is in the standings, losing 3.9 is totally acceptable. But for the others players, absolutely right. They do want to be over 30k and get some amount of positive points. Garth sitting pretty with this Ishantam. Really hoping for a door draw. 2-pit is an upgrade though. And now that Taka has drawn a pair of Dora, he could even call the double south for Yakuhai Dora 2 and try to take second place that way. Might even Atosuke here. Oh, let's pass. If the plan is Hanuman for 30k, then staying close is definitely the way to do it. One door in the wall. Two players who want to draw it. Michael searching for something to connect to this 5-pin or the 5-so.
G.
It's getting late enough that Taka's willing to just call this. Ishanta now. Oh, there it is, the Chun draw.
リーチ
And we'll see the Ricci slam from Garth. Typing Genbutsu. Ricci, Chun, potential Dora as well. 3 tiles in the wall for this weight. Now, if you're Michael, do you jam? 5-pin Genbutsu
Khan.
first. Khan into revealing the 6-mon to be Dora. So now we're looking at a manga no matter what. Manga minimum.
I think if we're Michael, we're trying not to
相撲
deal in so that you don't go to fourth.
Oh, there it is! The
Oh,
Huda
gosh.
4! Baimon for Garth. This is
That gets
exactly
him
what he
first
needed.
place.
We said the Garth comeback starts, and what is this? So he hit an Anko of the West with the Khan Uda, and then the original Uda was the Sanzo hitting the Forso. And all of a sudden, the tables have swung dramatically. Garth, not only in first place, but has a chance for even more here. Go ahead, cut away from the Manzu. Still, Dian Shanten here. Looks like we'll have another Kokushi attempt on the right. You know you're having a difficult game when you've gone for Kokushi 3 times.
Oh, most definitely.
9 in a pair this time, the best start that Taka has had. 3-pin is the Dora. Can be accepted by Toyman Travis. Although those shapes very Kanchan heavy. 3-pin drawn by Michael. That's great for him. Ishanten now with, and it's callable as well. If his goal is to just confirm 3rd place, he can open up. But also, like Ricci is on the horizon. We'll see if he gets the opportunity to call, whether he chooses to or not. I'm kind of on the fence personally about whether I would. Here's that opportunity. He is also on the fence.
ポン
Absolutely tanking that decision, and then does choose to call it. Unfortunately, that weight, not very live. Only one tile of each in the wall. And a second door draw, and out it comes.
リーチ
Tempai, Ricci taken. Ricci Nomi waiting on 2-5 so. 4 tiles in the wall versus 2.
ポン
Taka sees a path to overtake Michael for third, and will call passing the safe 1 mon.
Oh, didn't take the tempai from Michael.
Yeah, broke it off. Said the Sozu were too difficult to jam. Oh, and would have drawn the 7 so on the following draw. That's always heartbreaking.
ポン
There's Tempai 1 so will be pushed. Travis has safe 7 mon, 7 mon to pass. Now the weight's thinning out for Garth, but of course Taka
Ooh.
draws it.
ドン
Okay.
2k points, no Uras, so Taka's still within striking range of third, but the Garth train cannot be stopped. Okay, maybe this high pie will stop it. Looks kind of tricky. Maybe you can draw a pair of 3-pin and actually have a hand. Maybe you pair something up and go for Chi Toy. Much better looking hand on the right for Taka, but is it the value that he's looking for? Ricci Pinfu not really terribly appealing here without hitting an Uda. He'll be aiming to draw a Dora. Travis, maybe this isn't the hand to catch Garth with either. Once again, Michael with a callable hand. We'll see if he's able to speed his way towards a third place clinching win. These pair
Another
draws.
pair.
Not exactly what Garth is looking for. Kind of amazingly, we haven't seen a dragon come out. Speaking of pair draws.
Ishan 10 for Taka.
Okay, Ricci Chitoi is 32. Direct off of Michael will be enough.
Sumo is 64,
Also,
which is enough.
yeah. Okay, so Chitoi, a valid plan then.
ポン
There's the first dragon, called immediately.
Each.
Oh, door draw, second door draw. Wow, pulls in a pair. And now has a great weight Ricci. Ricci Pinfu Dora 2 on 2-5 so. Now Garth, maybe this is where he chooses to back away. Let's hovering and check the gap. 12.4. That means Mongon Sumo is good enough. And well, Travis has a Mongon. Can he find the Tsumo? One tile of each. 2-so and 5-so in the wall. Last player to have this weight was Taka, and he did Sumo the 2-so. Kurth is trying to play around this Ricci in such a way that enables him to fight. He is Chitoi Shantan. Michael, will he join the fray with a 6-pin push? Oh wait, no, Tonki's the 6-pin. Joins the fray in a different way. Six-pin not live at all. Oh, door draw for Taka's rough. Could try 3-pin. Sha safety. Rework this into a Tanya, perhaps. It's a pair draw, but little bit too late. It looks like we'll be just waiting to see if Travis can sumo. One 5-so in the wall. And 2 draws to find it. Haku live. Top doesn't want to jam that. Mon's right now the safe suit, so he has 4-mon to cut. June isn't it. There's the 5-so. It's on the wrong player. So that means Ryukyoku inbound. Michael manages to draw, maintain the tempi as well, so he will confirm 3rd place indeed. The big winner, Garth, another 1st place, plus 36.8. Travis, a huge 2nd place, but the story of this game was that Ura 4 by Mon, found by Garth.
Man, this graph is insane. The stonks.
Just absolutely climbing from, what was it, like 21,000 up to 50,000? Well, it might have even been less than that. Taka will dip below 0 now. Still relatively safe to at least maintain B2 position, but of course you want to be in the positives. Michael avoids taking the worst of this game. Still ahead of the cut line. Travis and Garth both making progress towards escaping relegation. And I think this is up to, what, 63 points now? I remember the score of the first game correctly for Garth. And I remember we were doing a sort of mid-season show a couple of Wednesdays ago because there weren't any games scheduled. And Jen had joined that broadcast, and she was commenting on Garth's position and said, "Well, Garth isn't out of it. He has absolutely has the potential to climb, and 2 first place is a great way to start." Of course, we will eagerly watch the remainder of this series. I think they're finishing it another day.
I think they're playing on Friday.
Okay. Of course, that doesn't mean we're done for the night. We've got a couple more games that are happening in C1 right now. Give us a second, we'll be able to pull that up. Do you know who's playing at this table?
I don't know. Let me check. There's Luis, Gino, Donald, and Thomason. And I was looking in the game results, and in their first match, Luis had above, it looks like 95,000 first place.
Whoa. Did that happen via Yakuman, or did it happen via just consecutive wins?
Just many wins.
Many wins, okay.
Many wins. It looks like he had 2 Hanemons during the game. One of them was on his dealership.
Boom.
That'd be the way to do it. It seems we've broken the screen switching names here, but
Sorry, I meant it was Donald who got it.
oh yes.
The 95,000. Yeah.
Yeah, so we don't quite have the chance to look at the standings, but hopefully we can get those fixed. As is, we are in South 2 of the 2nd game. And it looks like Gino is the dealer here. And this is my first chance watching Gino play in Armel. Of course, I did get the chance to play against him at the in person at the Chicago Open last year. He played a great game. And I believe he's doing quite well this season, although the standings aren't showing up for us on the right side of our screen. We can see he's one of the leaders so far in C1 this season. Ricci comes out from Luis. We've got Ricci Ipeko Dora 2. Waiting Dora Tonki here. second pin Dora Tonki that we've seen this evening. It always feels nice when you've got this option. Either you draw the 1 pin for Sanchoku, or you draw the 4 pin for Ipeiko. No matter which side, you're getting some value out of it.
Mhm.
Now we have to see what this last 8 pin is. Or if someone's willing to jam Dora against Orichi. If your hand's good enough, you might do it. Gino dancing around this Ricci, Ishanten currently. If you drew, well, put that thought to rest. Here's the F5 mon, and Gino will indeed jam the 5. Sorry, the 5 pin is drawn. The 5 mon is discarded into Tenpai, and here's that Dora. It does come
Boom.
out. And that will be a Mungan for Luis. Shift him up to 39,800. Very much in range of taking first. With 2 rounds to go. And now Donald in the driver's seat. This Hypai has a Dora, has 2 completed shapes. Typically that means that you can get to Tenpai reasonably quickly. The Tenpai is not always going to be a good one. But as dealer, especially if you have a Dora confirmed in your hand, usually that's pretty good. It's good enough to take a reach. The hand to the right is pretty decent. Oh, great 2-pin draw. And now there was a choice here for Donald. Decided to take this headless shape. Could have thought about discarding the 7-8 pin or 7-8 mon and aiming for a Nobutan shape in the future. Could have also thought about cutting the 5 mon instead to give a chance at 2-4 Sanchoku. With regards to the 7-8 cut, this is definitely more efficient, but sometimes leads to a worse weight, to a Tonki weight if you fill in a 6 or 9 of either suit. But even with a Tonki, you can just Dama and move to a different Tenpai that is stronger. Ishantan now for the Movie Man.
Boom.
West Call. So this won't be enough value for Luis to take over first, but it will leave him in position for Magan Sumo and all last. Second door draw for Gino. Makes the hand a little exciting, but we've gotten this far in the round. We're middle of second row, and all of a sudden you're a little bit more concerned about dropping this 4-pin near Dora. Ooh, interesting 9 so pull. Okay, 6-pin discard. Maybe a little bit of greed for the one chance, the remaining 7-so for
1
Ipeiko. We're going to see a Ricci from Donald. It is indeed that Tonki took so long to find Tempai that he didn't want to wait around for a better weight, so just slams the Ricci, waiting on the 8-pin. That's weird, the weights aren't showing up. It makes me wonder if the weights
Gee.
weren't showing up in the previous game as well, or just this one. Oh, the 8-pin comes out again. Wait, this 8-pin has not been a good tile. It deals in way too much as a Tonki. And Uda fouled as well, so Donald, big swing of points here, will now have a chance to even take second place. Of course, as the dealer, can always go on a run. We saw that with Garth's game for sure.
Mm-hmm.
This high pie looks a bit tricky. When you open up this high pie, how optimistic are you feeling?
Not very.
Maybe
Not very optimistic at all.
maybe it's not good to have this idea of like optimism about high pie, but I can't help but think that way as just part of the early evaluation of the hand. At least when I'm playing. But I guess if I'm thinking that my hand is going to be hard to put together, I might have some use that negative bias to not see paths that I should be able to see. So maybe it's better for me to think about it as just every hand has a chance and play for whatever chance I can. And Donald's,
I mean, the draws have been pretty good.
Yeah, it's been pulling great. Ishanten now. And of course, if you draw around this 3-so, we can get away from the 1-2 Penchan and have a potentially awesome Ricci Pin Fedora. Oh, speaking about perfect draws, okay. Okay, yeah, never give up on your hand from high pie. Unless it's strategically correct to do so. Gotta add that disclaimer. We've got really nice shape on the left as well with potential Ricci Pin Fedora. 2 away from Tempai. And Luis is using the Dora as well across the table. Ooh, second Dora draw works great. Diamen, Ishanten. Looking for 4-7 pin and 6-9.
봄
So looks like the 6-9 is going to be the harder one to find given the number of tiles discarded. Thompson making his move, going for that Toy Toy. And both Don and Gino here have incentive to fight, regardless of which one declares Ricci first. I guess if Donald slams the Ricci first, Gino might fold from his position in the lead, but certainly has the value to be able to fight the dealer Ricci. Interesting choice here for Thompson. Could take the Tempai with no Yaku because there are only 18 tiles left in the wall. But instead chooses to aim for the value. Even postponing that decision by cutting the 8-pin wasn't so bad either. And here it is, takes this Tempai. So 6-pin will not deal in. Could be called by Donald, though, for K10 as well. Not at Sumo here, we have no Yaku. Gino holding this Dama Tempai as well. Oh, and the 6-so, it's gotta come out!
롱
And the Dama will win here. Tiny Outdoor 2 for 5,200. definitely has a distinct impact moving to all last. First of all, Donald now below 30,000, and makes it hard for him to get second place. And that being the case, Gino only needs to get one more player below 30,000 points in order to get the bonus 5 points of Uma. Now, I don't know if you're in this situation, if you ever try to target the player that's floating to get them to sink below.
I have definitely in the past done that, but I've also aimed to sumo enough to put them below. So a Hanuman sumo will put
Currently Hanuman.
them below.
I guess if they reach you, then we can be satisfied with 1326. And so, of course, Gino will be taking that into consideration. I had one situation where I passed a Roan in order to try to hit the correct player. And I did end up sumoing instead. So it worked, but I had I think I got a little bit lucky in that particular instance. So I don't know if it's strategic correct early in the season, but certainly late there are more and more situations where you are targeting a particular player. The best hand here looks to be Donald's on the left, though. And there's some definitely some dreams that could happen. Of course, it's Chito Ishanten with Tanyao and Dora too. One more Anko draw and we could be going for it all.
Boom.
Toy Tanyao Dora 2 will be enough as well to make it over 30k and take over second place. Thompson currently Ishanten with a very wide acceptance for Tenpai. Oh wow, everyone's drawing Anko. Gino starts with the Tumon, doesn't really want to drop this Dora into the Tanyao hand.
Each.
And we're going to see a Ricci. 3-sided or Nobitan? 3-sided would be Pinshu as well. And that is the one that Tom chooses here. 369, so. This could be cheated into Tenpai. With the Ricci stick, it will be enough to overtake. Not overtake, but rather get over 30k. And chooses the 678 Chi. The 8 pin, of course, just a little bit safer. And this can win with the Dora as well. To overtake second. Ooh, do we switch to Entotsu here? Does indeed go for that. There's the Dora, but I don't think Luis wants to drop this. 5 pin instead. The 5 pin that just came out. The former weight. Jam the 6-mon. And the 4 comes out. The 4 pin. So that would be the Tanyao Dora 2, 3,900. And with the Ricci stick, as mentioned, that will be enough for a positive 0.1 finish for Don. Luis takes a 7.1 second place. And Gino, big win here, 39.3 first. Apologies once again that the standings are not being reflected. For some reason, they're not showing up. I think we might have them. Might have them on this screen though. So the current standing in the C1 division has Gino in sixth place overall, 129.2. A lot of these players at over 100 points. And Donald as well, right behind, 127.9 after that huge victory that you mentioned. And it looks like this table as well is has just completed their second game and might even be scheduled to play another day. Yes, tomorrow. They are indeed done for the night. I cannot wait to check the game results tab later and see exactly how Don got all those points. Oh, everyone was excited about the potential Chang'an. Unfortunately, did not happen. All right, well, we'll look forward to the second pair of games. And I think that is the last game that's scheduled for this evening, right?
Believe so. There aren't any games going on right now.
All right, well, that might wrap it up for us then. Had a couple awesome games. Do we have anything exciting that we want to preview? As we wrap this up, of course, there are a bunch of IRL tournaments happening. I know the PML Invitational just finished. I think there were a couple of ARML members that made the top 4 there.
I believe it was Jay, Stanley, Edwin, and one other person.
All right.
I know it was 3 PML members and one not 3 PML members.
Yeah, I definitely I know those 3 names you mentioned. Jay taking the top spot. Also looks to be promoting in B1 this season, as well as you. You both are in very good position. We got to
Yes.
catch your game. That was the top 4 B1 players all at the same table. That was quite fun. And of course, Stanley currently in A2. Edwin, another B1 player, topping off the results at PML. So congratulations to all of those players and the unknown player who got 4th. Yeah, as Blaine mentions, there's a small tournament coming up in Dallas. It's not a WRC qualifying tournament, but if anyone is in the Texas area and wants to get a taste of competitive mahjong, that one is happening soon. Check out the Texas group for that.
I think it's the same weekend as Philadelphia.
Yeah, so you got, if you want your I guess the signups for Philadelphia are completely booked solid.
Yes. So if you didn't get a spot in the Philadelphia, you're always welcome to go to Texas.
That's right. Lone Star Ricci Open, March 23rd. I believe they've got a Discord or a Facebook group that you can check out to register for that. Let's see, what else do we have? Of course, the DC Open is happening very soon. That's the after the March tournament in Philly. That is the next big qualifying tournament that has spots available. Last I saw, there were 5 places available, almost fully capped. So if you want to get your spot at the DC Open, got to register now. We've had some late signees recently.
For which tournament? Sorry.
The DC Open, Washington.
Oh yeah,
tournament.
I was one of those late signups.
Yeah, so
I managed to get the time off from work.
Sweet. So if you want to get the chance to play against both Rachel and myself, DC, April 5th and 6th, or is that 6th and 7th? I think it's 6th and 7th. Whatever the Saturday, Sunday is, right?
Yeah, first weekend of April.
That's it. And then a little bit later on, the Berkeley Open is happening in later portion of April. I believe that is the 20th and 21st of April in California. And there are certainly plenty of spots open for that event. And beyond that, there is the Columbus tournament in May, 11th and 12th. Open spots for that as well if you want to, if you're in the more Midwest area and you want to try some competitive mahjong. That is also a WRC qualifying tournament. And beyond that, I don't think registration is open for the Ricci Nomi Open, but that will be happening later on
In
in
June, I believe.
in the summer. So definitely keep your eyes open. They will, I'm assuming they will announce heavily when that thing's going to go live because it's one of the most heavily contested tournament slots out there. Lots of people want to go to that New York event.
I think there's a big on Richinomi's Instagram page. They said that a big announcement on the 8th, so on Friday. That's probably going to be when they're announcing their big tournament.
Ah, good to know. I was not in the loop on that one, so y'all heard it here. Very good chance that you'll want to have your clicker finger ready on the 8th. And then let's see, beyond that, we are aware of the North American Open happening Labor Day weekend, September 1st through, or August 31st through September 2nd. So late August, early September. That one's going to be a very big tournament, also in California as well, San Francisco area. So
And PML typically we do our big tournament in October, so there might be something then.
lots of exciting stuff happening this year. I'm so glad that we have the time to bring it up at the end of these streams because I really love being able to have the opportunity to play against so many of these names that I recognize. And if y'all are going, make sure to say hi to any of the events that I am. I definitely would love to meet everybody. That being said,
Yeah, feel free to say hi to me. I'm probably going to be the one sitting somewhere on the floor.
we've got lots of exciting IRL events, and of course, online. You can always join the American Ricci Mahjong League. We've got the next season coming up very soon, and the registration to sign up has been scrolling on the bottom all night long. It's the March 11th, so only 5 days remain. If you want to get your spot in the upcoming season of the American Ricci Mahjong League, got to sign up soon. Go to the website, AmericanRicci.org. You can get the registration right on the front page. You can also take a look at a map of all the different clubs that the members come from, at least the ones that are associated with a club around the U.S. or around the world, as the case may be. You can also check out all the current standings and the standings as they get updated, even on days that we do not stream. They all get updated live on the website every day. Of course, if you'd like to see our previous videos, they're all up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@AmericanRicci, and American Ricci on all the socials as well. All right, thanks again, Rachel, for hopping in the commentary. Always fantastic to get your insight. I always respect your hand building abilities and your opinions on all the decisions, and look forward to doing one again in the future.
Yep.
And of course, thanks to everybody for tuning in, and Blaine for sharing all those links for us. We'll see y'all in the next broadcast, whenever that may be. Coming up soon, session 6. You won't want to miss it. See you then.